So by now, you've probably already connected your GitBook documentation to the GitBook AI mini application. You've probably already built the automation flow and you've been in testing, asking questions, and it's been semantically automating the responses back to you from the information from your GitBook documentations. It's pretty cool, right? You may already have it live to the public and you're getting messages coming in from Google My Business Messenger, people asking questions about your specific business, your software, whatever it may be that you've created the GitBook documentations on, and it's replying to those people, whether that's on WhatsApp, SMS, email, or even on the Facebook page or group, or even Instagram feed, where we can automate those responses, okay, or auto reply to those comments using the GitBook knowledge base context or information, and we're just sending that back to them. But one of the main things that we really need to think about is having the immersive integration. So what do I mean by immersive integration? Basically, it's the basics of having your tech stack seamlessly integrated with your AI assistant or just inside of your chatbot. This way then we'll be able to look for information or search for information and check kind of things like, you know, are they a paid customer? Are they signed up on a free trial? Did they download this ebook? Did they do this action? Whatever it may be that you have in your automation or whatever is inside of your tech stack, then we want to be able to merge our tech stack with our AI system, because if we don't, we just have a basic question and answering type of chatbot. So whether you're creating an automation flow because you have a Shopify account, we want to be able to answer people's questions, you know, based on things like, hey, you know, where's my order? Okay, what is your order number? So then we can reply to them. So those type of integrations there, where we can extract tons and tons of information from whatever CMS platform that you're using, whatever type of software, or even your own tech stack. So in this video, we're going to go through 5 different ways that you can connect your tech stack with Flochat so it seamlessly integrates with your AI assistant. Okay, let's take a look at the 5 different types of automation processes or seamless integrations, or the immersive integrations, which is currently our second core pillar for Flochat, is having immersive integration. Okay, so the 5 types of ways that we can go ahead or you can go ahead and start integrating is external requests, native integrations, mini applications, inbound webhooks, and also our own API. So what we're going to do is we're briefly just going to jump into each one of these and quickly discuss what they are, what they can do, what they can't do, and how you can obviously integrate your tech stack using any of these 5 methods of integrating. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's take a look at the external requests first. So let's hop over into the actual Flochat builder to take a look at the external requests. So we're inside of the actual flow builder now with inside of Flochat. What we want to take a look at in this part is external requests. So what are external requests? Basically, external request is how you can use endpoints. So we can use like HTTP requests to call and fetch and post data to various types of different endpoints within a REST API. Okay, so where can we actually find the actual external request tab? Okay, so if I just simply right click on the screen, okay, or you can click on that little icon at the top left hand side there, we're going to open up on the actions here. So now we're inside of the actual actions themselves, then we can come across into this tab here, which is advanced actions. And at the top, right at the very top there, you will see the external requests, a little title, a little bit of a description, send an API request to data to submit data, check documentation on how to use this setup. So we have full documentation anyway, so you can go ahead and read that, but we'll leave a link to that below this video too. So let's go ahead and click on external requests. So now we're seeing a brand new screen. So these are the different types of requests that you can do with inside of our external requests. So we have the GET request. So if you want to retrieve information from a specific API, then you can do so there. We have the post, the put, the delete, patch, head, and also options. And here then would be where you would post in your URL endpoint. So whichever domain is / create new user, add to list, that type of thing. Okay, and then we have like the URL parameters. So if the API requires any type of like URL parameters or parameters, then you can add them there by using the key, the value, and also we have the test response, so you can use it inside of a test environment here to ensure that it's actually working. Then you'll see a tab called the headers. So depending on the type of, say, authorization, you can either use the headers or the authorization. They both pretty much work the same, but a lot of APIs are totally different on how we would do this. So let's just take, for example, the standard type of authorization would be here. You'd simply just type in authorization, okay, and then it would be something like maybe bearer, and then the API key would go in just there like that. Okay, but you can use a custom field there if you want to kind of disguise your API key coming in. And also here then could be a key of, say, let's say content type, okay, inside of here, so content type. And then in here it would be something like maybe it would be application /JSON. Okay, well, it depends on how your API is in here. And here then, like I said, you can put in some test values. So let's just take a quick look inside of the body. So you can have none depending on your type of request format. Obviously, normally with the get, you'll have no body going across. So basically, body is information that you want to send across. So here we have the raw, GraphQL, the multi-form, okay, and the multi-part form data. So if we come into the raw, this is where you could simply just type in your body content here with inside of the curly brackets. So it could be literally anything. Let's just take, for example, email, okay, is just say email, okay, inside of here it will pick up the custom field, okay, and so on and so on and so on. So if you're inside there, you pretty much know how to use basic JSON anyway, so we can send that information across inside of the actual body. Here again is the authorization. So here we have the basic auth, digest, and also bearer token if you want to do it around that way. And here then would be the actual response that you're getting back from that information, okay. And with any of type of the information, we can come in and save it as different types of custom fields, so then you can use that information later on with inside of your flows. You know, maybe it may be, hey, get this, let's go and check, or let's search this user based on their email address to see if they're a part of this email list inside of MailChimp or MailerLite or ConvertKit, or it could be just connecting to your native API. So that's pretty much external requests in a nutshell. But like I said, we'll, below this video anyway, in the documentation, we'll leave a link to the documentation so you can take a deeper look inside of the actual external requests themselves. Okay, so the next one we're going to be looking at is the internal native integrations. So the type of integrations that we already have with inside of the Flochat kind of framework. All right, so if I come up into the main dashboard, so I'm simply going to click on to just this title here. This is just a demo account. Okay, so what we can do now then is we'll just close down on these bots so you can actually see what we're looking into here then. So here then we have the integrations tab. So you can go ahead and select on the integrations tab and you'll see all the different types of integrations that we have. Obviously Dialogflow, OpenAI, Shopify, WooCommerce, Facebook Business, which is like the Facebook and Instagram e-commerce section on there. And then we can come down, we have Stripe. We also have inside of the actual flows is like the Stripe API, the PayPal API. So if you need to retrieve any information from those types of databases, then you can do. And we'll show that inside of a flow just in a second anyway. Also Calendly, okay, Google Sheets if you're storing data inside of Google Sheets, or any of these data stores like MongoDB, Cloudinary, S3 storage. And like I said, is that we can natively integrate with your current tech stack anyway, and we'll show you that in a second. Okay, which could also be done via the external requests. Okay, SendGrid, MailChimp, and then we have all these types of different support chat live agents here. And obviously, you can also go ahead and use our Zapier, Make, or Pabbly integration if you wish. But there, obviously, you know, we have a ton of different things where you don't really have to use these types of softwares anymore because you can build it all within inside. Okay, so this is the type of native integration. So if I go back into the actual flow builder itself, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the type of actions that you can see within inside. Okay, so if I just open up on the actual actions again, then we're just going to use this one just as an example anyway. Okay, so you'll see here then that we have multiple different types of ways that you can come in, and like integrations here. Okay, so if you have your MailChimp connected, it will say, you know, go and search that list, or Google Sheets, OpenAI, Calendly, all those types of different things inside of there. And then we can go into things like advanced actions, where we can dive deeper into like the Facebook API, the Instagram API, WhatsApp API, and also the Google My Business API if you wish. And then we have like the e-commerce side. So like I said, is that we have like, you know, full e-commerce API and all that in there. So if you want to extract information from literally anywhere, you can do so in here. So if we just take a look at, let's just go into integrations. I haven't connected to any of these on this account, but we can just go into Calendly and we'll just take a quick look just to see if we can see a little bit deeper without being connected. Okay, so let's just edit the Calendly. Okay, and here then is like the type of actions. So we can search for like scheduled events, get scheduled event, those type things. Okay, so it'd be like read, it will probably be searched by email. So then we can check conversions if somebody has signed up or booked a demo with inside of our Calendly, and all those types of different things. And each type of integration anyway comes with its own type of get or post or whatever type of function that you need, so you can like read information and get back information too. Okay, so in the next part, what we're going to take a look at is the mini apps. So with our mini apps are either created by us and also our users, or people just like you. So you're able to use our mini app JSON application builder, which is really, really easy to put together. And we'll show you that in a second. So inside of our mini apps, then we have mini apps that have been created by us and also our users. So you can host your actual application or your integration directly to our entire audience here at Flochat, or you can have it public, or you can have it private just to yourself. So let's take a look on where we can actually start creating our mini applications. All right, so if we go into our main menu, so we're going to go back into the main dashboard. So we're just going to close down on the bot menu there. Okay, and you'll see this this little tab here, which is mini apps. So let's take a look inside of the actual mini app store. So the one you're looking at right now is the GitBook AI application. Okay, and if we come into here, then we'll see the installed apps. So here are some of our apps that we've created already inside of here. So we have like the ConvertKit, the Google Translate, MailerLite, Stealth Seminar, Whereby, and obviously the version 1 GitBook Lens AI here. And you can simply just come in and just install these applications very, very quickly. All right, so let's just go back, and what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the actual application builder itself. Okay, so we're going to go here and click on contents. And inside the contents, then you'll see that we have my mini apps, my bot templates, email templates here. Okay, and you'll see across to the right hand side also is my template in my bot template installs, bot template sales, and mini app sales. Basically, this means that you can create templates and also apps and sell them directly to our user base if you wish. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look how we can actually create our very first mini application. So first off, we get to this space here, which is version 1 or version 2. So version 1 then is more type of really codey language. You're going to get in there and start hacking it out. Version 2 is a simple visual JSON application builder. Okay, so 99.9% of you guys will use the version 2. So we're just going to give our app a name. So we're just going to call it test app just for this demonstration only, and create. Okay, so once you've created it, then we can come in and edit the application. So now what you'll see is a completely brand new dashboard. Okay, so if we come across to the left hand side here, we'll just open up on this side tray menu here. Okay, you're not going to see any bots, integration tabs, live chat, all those types of things. Okay, they've just gone for the moment because we're inside of the application builder itself. Okay, so Just like the external requests, we have things like the actions, the triggers, sources, one-time URLs, all the settings for the actual application itself, and obviously the authorization. So it depends on the type of application that you want to build, will depend on the type of authorization, the type of actions or triggers that you may be actually creating. So let's just take a quick look inside of the actual actions themselves then. So this is how easy it actually is to start building your very own integration. Okay, so if we go ahead and add a new action, let's just say we want to create a new contact. Ooh, create a new contact. Okay, and then we're going to come in with a title, create new contact. Okay, and simply click on save. Okay, so now we've created this action and we can go in and edit this action. Okay, so inside of the edit action then, this is the type of kind of request that you want to do. So it's read, create, update, or delete, the normal type of, HTTP type of request types in here. So, if we had read, but this one we're doing like a create new contact. So we're just going to select the create here. Then you put in a description, guidance. Okay, you can have separate folders for different types of actions if you wish. And here then would be the types of input that you would need to obviously create. So things would be like email, okay, email address. You can save it to an email field, okay, if it's required or not. And here then is the type. So you can have string, text, number, select, and also checkbox with inside that, and we'll show you the select in a second. Okay, so this is pretty much how you'd set it up here. So you'd have an action item asking for the email, or you put the email input in, the name, if you need to capture addresses, phone numbers, that type of things. So you can go ahead and do that, and then obviously this then will link to your API and it will do all the automation for you. I won't go too deep on this because I could sit here for literally hours and talk about mini applications. So let's just cancel out of this and cancel out of that one. So inside of the actual sources then, if we have a look inside of sources. So sources then are basically, you can either have dynamic or statics. Okay, so what does this actually mean? So let's take, for example, that you have a list of email lists that you want to scroll down inside of your application to add people to a specific list, or it could be specific products, it could be literally anything that where you want to add people into. Okay, so this then will pull all of the, or it will use the get request then to pull in, say, all of your email lists or whatever it may be. Okay, and then you can select that list then inside of the actual flow itself. Okay, so basically that's it on that one there. Settings then, this is where you can go in and set up your settings, triggers, authorization. Let's take a quick look at the authorization here then. Okay, so you're going to set up whichever authorization type it is, whether that's just a normal API key or OAuth version 2. Then you've got like requests, and this is the type of inputs. The normal type of inputs would be, insert your API key. So it'd be an API key, and then you can save all this data and use it inside of the endpoints when you go and start creating the flows inside the flow builder within inside of the actual app builder itself. So that's pretty much apps in a very, very stripped out version. Okay, but if you want to go ahead and create an app, go ahead. If you need some advice, just reach out to us. That's no problems. And also, if we don't have an integration that you need, or you need a mini app creating, reach out to us via support, or we've got a tab on our website where you can go in and request a custom integration, and then the team will go ahead and build that integration for you. All right, so next up then is we're going to take a look at the inbound webhooks. So let's go back to the main dashboard. So what we want to take a look at is the inbound webhooks, and I'll explain what they are once we get into there. So if you navigate across to the left hand side, and you'll see the tab here which is tools. Let's go ahead and select on tools. The actual tools itself then, okay, we're going to click on to the inbound webhooks. Okay, so now we're inside of webhooks, we can go ahead and create a brand new webhook. So let's just put in this is just a test for now, and click on OK and save. Okay, so we're presented with this here. So this would be your webhook URL. So let's just take a look inside of the actual edit function here, just to see what the setup actually is. Okay, so inside of the inbound webhooks, then you can use the webhook that we've supplied there, which is auto-created per webhook or inbound webhook. Is that then you can use that inbound webhook URL then on any type of tech platform, from Zapier, Make, even your own, to pretty much most softwares out there now that do have the functionality for where you can put a webhook in. I.e., for example, if you've never heard of them before, if you have a software where it takes an inbound webhook and you can create, or it triggers when somebody creates a booking or buys a product or signs up to a certain platform or whatever it may be, then all of that information then, once that webhook has been triggered, will simply come into into here. And this then is where you can start creating new users based on user NS, which is, you're probably not going to use that because they need to be an existing bot user for you to get that NS anyway. But the things like creating new contacts or updating contacts with inside of Flochat, then you'd use things like the phone numbers and also email. Okay, so there you can go ahead and create new contacts or update contacts via those two parameters there. Okay, and you can just use one if you wish. Okay, and if you don't have that contact already created inside of your CRM, inside of Flochat, then it will automatically create a brand new contact for you, and then you can start marrying up all that information. So once you've got all the data that comes through here, then you can simply just click on the preview payload button then. And then at the bottom here, then this is where you can start marrying up all the fields. So if we wanted to save their phone number, and we could come in here then, and we could select the phone number field. So their phone number is going to be automatically added to the phone number field. Again, with the email, we can come in here and add in the email response field, okay, or the email system field inside of there. Okay, and all you need to do then is simply just click on the add button there. So if we just come out of this, let's just cancel out of that, and you'll come into the logs here then. So this is where all of the data will be stored here up to around about 2 weeks. So you can see all the failures, all the successes, and all those types of different things in there. So if you need to go into deeper error reporting, then you can take a look inside of the actual logs themselves. So once you've actually created your webhook, then you would attach that to a simple flow, because maybe you want it to do something, i.e. opt somebody in for the email, add them to an email sequence, add them to an SMS flow, add them to a Facebook Messenger flow, or whatever it may be that you're trying to accomplish with inside of your automations. And once you're ready to go, you can simply go ahead, click on active, and then it's ready to go. All right, so that's pretty much enough about inbound webhooks. But what we're going to take a look at now is the actual API itself. So if we come up to the right hand side, just underneath my name here, okay, you can take a look at in here, which is API keys. So if you do need to use our API, it's pretty big. So it's got pretty much every single endpoint that you'll need to create custom applications or custom integrations with the Flochat platform, with information coming in and also information going out. So we can take a look here, like flows. So we can send flows to people. We can add tags, update user fields, delete them, the bot fields, subscribers. So we can scroll all the way down here. So it pretty much has everything in that you need. So here then you can send subflows, send flows, send broadcasts, okay, email broadcasts, send in SMSs, mini apps. So if you have triggers inside your mini app, then you'll use the post mini app request here, which is the app trigger. Okay, e-commerce, again, okay, you can create your own e-commerce solutions that natively obviously will link with the API and e-commerce store natively with inside of Flochat anyway. As you can see, the e-commerce is actually pretty huge. Okay, templates, okay, so, and then we've got the OpenAI. If you need to create some kind of OpenAI ChatGPT type of solution, then you can go ahead and use that inside of their workspaces, users. So, and this is all of the kind of schemas for like bot fields, subscribers, chat messages, responses, and all those types of different things come down here, and all the error reporting. So that's pretty much as deep as I'll go into the actual API. You're only probably watching this part on the API because you kind of know things about the API, but an easy way of actually creating API kind of integrations is via the mini apps. It's super fast to actually get those created, and like I said before, is that if you need any type of integration or application building, reach out to the support team or tap the link inside of our website, and we can go ahead and process that build for you. So we'll hold that video here. Hopefully this has given you a quick and a brief insight into 5 different ways that you could actually seamlessly integrate or have that immersive integration with your current tech stack, whether that be via external requests, our native integrations, mini apps, inbound webhooks, and also the API. So remember, as I mentioned in the video just a couple of times, if you do need an integration or a mini application building, you can reach out to our support team. We can take a look at it, see if it's actually viable. Obviously, you know, they need to have a decent API that we can build on, and we can pump these out in literally a matter of minutes, hours, and even just into the days, depending on the size of the integration that you require. Okay, right, we'll see you in the next video where we're going to show you how to populate your GitBook documentation and use social media from Facebook pages, Facebook groups, and also Instagram to auto reply to comments on those social channels. So it's a pretty cool video, and we'll see you there.